everyone, welcome to MarikaCreations. Today I have some wood decor DIYs for you. I have some already existing wood decor pieces that I have upcycled to make fit into my decor, and I also made some beautiful books with some scrap pieces of wood. So stay tuned for this. For my first DIY today, I have these 3 pieces of scrap wood. They don't look very nice for the moment, but I will turn them into beautiful books. I want them approximately the same size, so the first thing I'm doing is to just mark out where I need to cut them. And I will do that with my miter saw. And now they are cut and ready, and I'm sanding them off because they were very rough and I want them nice and smooth to the touch. So I'm going with a rough grit sandpaper at first and a finer until they are perfect. And now I'm going to round the edge on the book on one side to make it look more like a book, and I will do that with this wood router going along the spine of the book like that, and the same on the other side. And it will look like this, beautiful. And I do that with all the books. This video is part of the What Would You Make challenge hosted by Rustic and Lace DIY and DIY Craftaholic, and the guest host for this month is Glulala. I will leave links to their channels down in my description box, so go and check them out later. And I also have a link to the playlist down in my description box for more wood decor ideas. All the books have their shape now, looking perfect. And now it's time to paint them, and I do that with this velvet finish paint, a very light grayish color. I do that back and front all over the book, and I applied 2 coats. And now I'm going to mimic pages like I've done on this book already, and I'm just using a ruler and a pen, just making lines very tight together on 3 of the sides, not the spine of course. So on this book right here, I will make some decoupage on the front, these with the tiny stars on. So the first thing I do is to take some, it's not Mod Podge, but my own tacky glue with some water in it. And I cover the front of the book and set it aside to dry. And once dry, I place my napkin where I want it, and then I take a parchment paper, put it on top, and iron it to reactivate that glue and make that napkin stick and as flat as possible with no wrinkles. There we go, looking perfect. And I just take a piece of sandpaper, and with downward motions I sand off the excess napkin. On the next book I want to put a bookmark of 2 angels, and for that I need to make, well, I don't need to, but I want to make a background of clouds. So I'm just putting in some white color and some gold and that greyish color, and just blend them together to mimic clouds. And here I'm a little bit uncertain if I want those big angels or smaller ones. I wish I could ask you what you have preferred, but in the end I opted for the bigger ones. So I'm just taking some tacky glue and put it on the back of that bookmark, and then just press it into place like so. Set it aside to dry for a little bit. And now for the third book, I will take this stencil of this beautiful flower and place it on top of the book, and then just with a sponge dab on some white paint, acrylic paint, and a little bit of gold as well, you will see. Et voila! This is how it turned out. Beautiful. Set it aside to dry. And now I'm working on the pages, just putting on one coat of this acrylic gold paint. It's not opaque, so you can still see the markings of the pen. This I didn't get on camera. I have put some decorative nails that I recovered from a share that I reupholstered some time ago, and I have put some writing on the spine: love, light and faith. And now I am putting on one coat of my satin finished varnish to protect the colors, the bookmarks, everything I've done so far, and set them aside to dry. I'm not quite finished. Now I am putting on some ribbons beside the spines and on the corners like this. And I will do different ribbons on each of the books. If you're new to my channel, hi! I am Marika, and on this channel I do lots of DIYs, thrift flips, trash to treasure, an occasional dupe, renovation of my home, and I even do some pottery and some painting, anything creative really. Please join me, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and join my YouTube family. Et voila! This is how they turned out. I really love them. Love especially this one with the angels. Looking beautiful, I think. Tell me what you think. Give you a closer look on each of the books. For my second DIY, I have a wooden tray in the shape of a painting palette. I made a failed makeover some time ago, and it didn't make it to my channel because of obvious reasons. It just fell apart. So taking all that mosaic away and the residue of the glue that I used, and I will start all over with this piece. It's a very cute tray, so I want to use it. And I'm just sanding off it lightly to get rid of any uneven bits. And then it's time to paint it. And I'm using the same color on all my projects today. You can use any color you choose, of course. And this is the light grayish color. I'm painting it all the way around, and I applied 2 coats. And now I'm thinking, I love painting, and this is a painting palette. And why not make it into my color palette that I use here in my home? With that light grayish color that I use so often, I have that as a backdrop, and then a darker grayish color and some gold accent color, and also some burgundy color. And I will make just so it looks a little bit like clicks of color on a painting palette. And then they will just swirl together in the center. You will see. And here I had to apply 4 coats to get that really opaque look that I was after. And the last thing I do is to put on a coat of my satin finish varnish to protect the colors. And it's done. And this is how it turned out, looking beautiful, I think. I don't have a place for it just yet, but I will think I will display it with some paint brushes and that kind of thing. Fits into my old world scheme at home as well. For my third DIY today, I have this old toolbox that I remade some time ago. I haven't used it. It's a little bit too farmhousey for me, and I don't have that in my home, so I will give it a makeover. And the thing is, can I make it not look so farmhousey? Because a wooden toolbox is like farmhouse right through. But I will give it a go. So take off that string of jute twine, and then I will sand it off just with a finer grit sandpaper, so I make it ready for painting. Just remove all the dust and then start painting. And as I said earlier, I'm just using my light grayish color, and I gave it 2 coats inside and out. So this is how it looks now, looking beautiful, but the bottom is not very nice, and I didn't want to paint it. So what I have done is to cut out some cardboard paper that fits into this box here, 3 of them, and then I will cover them with some scrap pieces of fabric that I had on hand. Just cut them to size, a little bit of excess, and then I will take my home glue spray and just attach that fabric to my cardboard. And cut off the excess around the corners like that. And I do that on all the pieces. And I decided to use some decoupage here as well. So I'm prepping the surface with my homemade Mod Podge and set it aside to dry. And then I will prepare my napkin, just the top layer of the napkin. And I will use this starry napkin as I used for one of the books in my first project today. And I'm just ironing it on with a parchment paper in between. And then sand off the excess napkin. And it looks perfect, doesn't it? And I've done it already on the other side, so looking good. I will put another coat of the Mod Podge on top, and then once completely dry, I will cover that napkin piece with a coat of my satin finished varnish. Now it's time for some embellishment, and I'm using a neutral colored ribbon, putting it on with some dabs of hot glue, and then I'm going in with some decorative nails, each of the corners and one in the middle as well. Eventually, just finding the center and putting a nail there as well. I have a little trouble there because they will not very straight, because I recovered them from a chair that I reupholstered some time ago. They're looking good. As you can see, I have put on even more nails. Now a little bit of a ribbon here on the handle as well, a thinner one but the same color. And I am ready. So the question is, does it look farmhousey? A little bit maybe. And this is how I have decorated it at the moment. It's sitting in my kitchen looking very pretty, I think. Farmhouse or not, you will be the judge of that. On to my fourth and final DIY for today. I have this wooden bowl looking very pretty as is, but I will paint it on the inside, just on the inside. So I'm very carefully putting on actually 3 coats of paint, I think it was, or maybe even 4, to get a really nice finish. And then I will take a flat paintbrush and with some burgundy color and some white color on the tip of the brush and make some flowers. I started very nicely here, but then I went a little bit overboard with the petals. So at the end I just pared it down a little bit, putting on a little more of the background color. That's what you can do when you paint. If you don't like it, paint it over and start over again, and that's what I did. If you like this video and videos like this, consider subscribing, maybe share with a friend and hit that like button as well. It will help my channel to grow and I can spend more time creating inspirational content for you. And now I have pared it down, as you might be able to see, and the final touches with some gold dots as well. And then I will just set it aside to dry. And the last thing I do is to put on 2 coats of my satin finished varnish to get that really shiny look. And it is done. And this is how it turned out. Looking pretty, I think. So tell me what you think of my creations today. Did you have a favorite? Let me know in the comments. You know I love to read your comments. Makes my day. If you are inspired and you want more inspiration straight away, just head on over to my description box and hit that link to the playlist of this challenge. Just click and enjoy. Thank you so very much for watching. See you soon again in my next one. Until then, take care. Bye.